COVID-19 cases reaching new highs in the U.S., at least that's testing confirmed, not hospitalizations and deaths, this Independence weekend. And as critics focus their attention on the president's response, as they always try to do, the WHO, the World Health Organization, admits the Chinese government never reported the outbreak's existence. So is it time for China to be held accountable? Have they been? Here to discuss, White House trade advisor Peter Navarro. Peter, thanks for joining us this morning. Happy Independence Day. Appreciate what you're doing for our nation. As we
on the glorious 4th here, Pete.
On the glorious 4th. May there be 244 more. Absolutely.
Yes,
but as we sit in this moment and we look backwards, you know, we know China lied. We know they covered up. We know they deceived the world. And I know we took strong measures at the beginning to prevent people from traveling to this country. What is being done now to hold China to account for what they've unleashed on our country?
I think you hit it exactly right. I think in order to hold the Chinese Communist Party accountable for what they've done to us, we must unite around this simple fact. Chinese Communist Party lied, Americans died. It's over 130,000 Americans so far, Pete. And you know what? There's nothing on that death certificate that has party affiliation. The cause of death is the China virus. And what I'm sensing in this country, I thought last night the president's speech was actually a call for unity. And what I'm seeing now is anger in the American people over the lockdown, anxiousness about an economic future, and fear of getting the virus. And what we've done is we've taken all that negative energy and directed against each other. And then you've got these radical elements that want to basically have another Chinese cultural revolution to destroy our culture, our habits, our customs, our ideas, what Mao called the old kills. And what we have to do is unite around this central fact. China lied, people died. The CCP lied, Americans died. And so what do we do here? First of all, we have to recognize, besides killing over 130,000 Americans, they have put over 30 million Americans out of work and inflicted trillions of dollars of damages. So Capitol Hill, which is just a little ways that way, and the White House need to unite on holding China accountable for that, literally making them pay for that. They also have to come clean on exactly what they've been doing with that virus. Is it an engineered virus, for example, or did it simply slip out of a lab? Where did it come from? Until we know the answer to those questions, we won't know how to fight this virus. The other thing I should say on this glorious 4th is today we are mourning. We are mourning the loss of independence of Hong Kong, even as we are celebrating our own independence. And I think Americans might want to reflect on what has happened to the people in Hong Kong at the brutal hand, the Chinese Communist Party. And don't think that, oh, it's just Hong Kong. China, the Chinese Communist Party is doing that to us right now with this virus, tearing us apart.
Not to mention the propaganda that they're pumping into our country, the businesses they're seizing, the information wars, what they're doing in our universities. Yeah. But you mentioned Hong Kong, Peter. This new law, new national security law from the Communist Chinese now allows them to grab dissidents inside Hong Kong, breaking the agreement there, and effectively putting them into prisons in Communist China, where, of course, they'll never see the light of day. Again, to the previous question, what more can we do directly as a country to confront the scourge that is the Communist Chinese?
With respect to Hong Kong, President Trump on May 29th in the Rose Garden announced that we will no longer treat Hong Kong as a separate entity from Communist China. And what he did was set in motion a process with all the government agencies to figure out exactly how many ways Hong Kong gets that preferential treatment, and you can expect within the coming days and soon that the president will complete that process. Basically what we have now is Hong Kong is being absorbed into what is effectively a great firewall concentration camp. These people, I mean, people of China are good, hardworking people. They live under the worst Orwellian kind of nightmare you can imagine, and I can tell you this. With this new brutal law that the Chinese Communist Party passed, there's going to be thousands of people in Hong Kong who are going to spend the rest of their days effectively in concentration camps. And this country and the rest of the world cannot stand for this. Pete, they're doing this behind the cover of the Chinese Communist Party virus. China is known for this, exploiting crises to advance their own strategic agenda, territorial ambitions. They are they're at war with India right now. The last time they did that was during the Cuban Missile Crisis. So we got to get tough on China. This president is the only president that's ever done that. And I can't imagine a world in which Beijing Joe Biden gets the keys to the Oval Office, because that will be the death of this republic. And,
well, and
I think it's worth saying that on July 4th.
It is the fight of our lifetime, truly, staring down the collectivists who believe in everything but freedom and they want total control. Peter Navarro, best of luck. Thank you for joining us.